The FBI is currently looking for a person of interest who might be affiliated with the homemade explosive device that detonated at Colorado Springs NAACP headquarters on Tuesday morning. The FBI says the device went off next to a gas can by the building's exterior wall at about 10:45 a.m. when 3 staff members were in the building. The can of gas did not ignite, and the bomb did not injure anyone. There was some charring and other damage to the building's exterior. As the investigation continues, the FBI is considering all possible motives for the bombing. While the explosion might eventually be deemed a hate crime, an FBI spokesperson said authorities cannot yet be sure that the NAACP was the target of the explosion. Thomas Ravenel, FBI special agent in charge, addressed that question of intent at a press conference on Friday.
Is there anything to suggest that the organization was targeted?
No, and that's why we don't know who is targeted. You know, again, only the bomber knows why he put this there, and we don't know why he put it there. Again, I'm not going to be naive. I know what the NAACP means to some extremists in this country, so we keep all possibilities open now.
On Friday, the FBI also released a sketch of a possible person of interest the Bureau is pursuing as it continues the investigation. Joining me now from Washington, D.C. is the president and CEO of the NAACP, Cornell Brooks. Mr. Brooks, can you tell me, when did you first learn about the incident, and have you learned much more about it since the very first report?
Good morning, Melissa. I first learned about the incident the morning of the bombing. Since that time, we've not learned a great deal more. We certainly know that a threat was posed to our office. We don't know the source of that threat or whether or not the threat was directed directly at the NAACP. But what we do know is that over the course of recent years, the NAACP has been the subject of, our offices have been firebombed. There have been plans that have been disrupted in terms of attacks. So we have every reason to be concerned and also vigilant.
So when you say over recent years, I mean, we're going to be talking about the film Selma later. We'll be talking about violence in the context of the civil rights movement. But people may have forgotten a bit about 1993 or even not know that NAACP offices continue to get threats and remain on heightened alert even today.
Yes, and in fact, we're going back to 1993, you had 2 bombings and an act of arson in a single year. In 1989, one of our attorneys was killed, and the fact is, receiving a threat at the offices of the NAACP is not an infrequent occurrence. So the point being here is these security concerns are real. So in the wake of this bomb detonation, we enhance our security protocols and certainly put our branches and offices on heightened alert.
Let me ask, has the local law enforcement, I know that the FBI is involved, but have local law enforcement there in Colorado Springs been helpful and forthcoming in this effort?
Yes, we have a branch president who has good relations with local law enforcement. Within hours, the local law enforcement turned over the jurisdiction, the primary responsibility for the investigation to federal authorities. That being said, they have been working very closely with our branch to ensure their security, security of the leadership and security of the membership. So we have a good working relationship based upon all that I know with local law enforcement.
And just one last question. I know that, social media, what some folks might call Black Twitter, has been on this from the beginning, alerting, wanting to talk about it. What are the ways that we can be most helpful, sort of, both in social media, ordinary people, as well as broader media, in thinking through the question of ensuring that just as there is a march in Paris today, that there is an effort in this country to make the kind of work that you do safe work?
Yes, well, I think one of the things that we can do is all actively engage in fighting for justice. I mean, we need to be clear here. There's a certain kind of Newtonian law of social justice at work in this country, namely for every act for justice, there's an equal and opposite reaction for injustice. And so one of the best ways to ensure that the work is safe is that more people participate in the work. We have to take security precautions, but we cannot be intimidated. And when threatened, the NAACP consistently doubled down double down for justice. And that means pushing for policing reform across the country in state legislatures, certainly in Congress, and at the municipal level. We're doing that, and we continue to do it.
Thank you to Cornell William Brooks in Washington, D.C. We'll keep our eye on this story.
Thank you.